And Shonda, and welcome to DinkLife.
DinkLife.
We are now nearing the end of our Japan travel series. The last 3 days that we were in Japan, we spent at the Disney Resort, Tokyo Disney Resort. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about over the next couple of episodes. We kind of wanted to save that till the end because Disney is like one of our favorite things to do no matter where we are. So not knowing what we were sort of getting ourselves into in Japan, we wanted to make sure that we ended the trip on a high note. Having said that, however, we had a fabulous time all around.
Yeah.
Disney was just the perfect way to end it. So the first thing that we did, just like we did with Universal Studios, was we bought our tickets on Klook. Again, the reason that we did this is because the Disney and the Universal websites, neither one accepted American credit cards.
No.
So we were not even able to buy them off of the Disney website if we had wanted to. So we had watched another vlogger and he had recommended using Klook. I guess he uses it all the time, even though he lives over there. So that's what we went ahead and did. I want to say the tickets for each park were roughly $69.
Yeah,
it was fairly inexpensive compared to here.
Yeah, way cheaper than the United States.
Yeah. But the one thing I will say over there, they're still, or they were when we went, and I think they still are, in a mode where you can only buy one park one day. There's no park hopping, there's no multi-day tickets, there's no annual passes for sale. So you have to buy each day separately.
Yeah.
There's no, less expensive if you bundle 2 or 3 days.
No.
It's just buy whatever park you're going to, you go to that park.
Yep.
So, just so you know, we had 2 days at Tokyo DisneySea's and 1 day at Tokyo Disney Resort. You also have to, the same as you do here, you had to reserve which day you were going to which park. You can't just buy a ticket and then go whenever.
No, you have to get it for that park.
Yeah, it's the same as here. So we did get our tickets off Klook, and in that same vlog we were watching, he also had said that they generally have a soft opening that's about 30 minutes before the park opens, so that if you want to rope drop, I think the official park opening time was 9.
Yeah.
If memory serves, and so they usually open the gates about 8:30 if you want to get in. So we decided to go ahead and try to get in line. I think it was about 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And by the time we got there,
oh yeah,
just like at Universal, the lines were completely insane. Like, if you look at the plaza, like the gates up here and the road is back here, we were already almost back to the road.
Yeah.
Like,
and the whole area just fills with people.
Filled with people, all the way across this way and all the way across, or all the way back.
Yeah.
So then the gates, I think, did open a half an hour early, but I will tell you, unlike Universal, the lines there moved at a glacial pace to get into the park.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, too, also while you're waiting in line out there, there's some good people watching of all the girls getting ready to go in.
There is a lot of people watching. I saw one girl clip in some hair extensions. I saw one girl pull a straightening iron out of her purse. Battery-powered straightening iron out of her purse and do her hair. Yeah, it was interesting. It was, they are, which is a strange thing to say because Americans are pretty vain, and I'm one of them, so I get it. But man, they really do care about how they look over there. So it was kind of fun just to watch.
Yeah.
But having said that, the lines were terrible.
Yeah, it moved really slow. And not every line had a security or a bag check.
Yes, but no, every line had a bag check. But some lines had a metal detector and a scanner like they have at the airport where they can check your bag that way. Yeah. And some lines had a person just going through your bag with a little stick. Yeah. So the lines with the x-ray machine moved a lot faster.
Yep.
Still didn't move real fast, but they moved a little bit faster than they did. But it's just sort of, you don't know which is which. So it's the luck of the draw wherever you're standing. So we discovered pretty quickly that even getting in line 45 minutes before the gates open did not help us at all.
No.
There was absolutely, for my opinion, and I think Wes would agree with me, there is no reason whatsoever to get in line an hour before the gates open because honestly, we didn't get on any rides any sooner. We didn't get in line for anything any sooner.
Nope, no advantage really.
Just as an aside, we were going to try to go to Journey to the Center of the Earth first because we'd heard like that gets busy and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we walked straight to it. And once we got there, the line was already like 180 minutes.
Yeah.
It was insane. So again, I don't know. We didn't see any advantage to getting there and standing in that line super early. You might just want to do it because that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But for us, it wasn't worth it.
Nope.
When you walk in, though, it's really cool. Like, the first thing you see is this gigantic globe.
Yeah.
That's like a water fountain feature type thing. It's just really cool looking.
Yeah. It looks like a little European city, kind of.
Yeah. It almost sort of looks like a Italian town.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful when you first walk in. And we didn't know what to expect because, honestly, we don't have any parks like that over here.
No. It's definitely much different than any Disney park.
Right. I mean, we haven't yet been to China, but none of the American parks in Paris, there's nothing that compares to the look of this park. I mean, a little bit Epcot just because of the countries.
It's supposed to be kind of like a Epcot, but a Epcot of harbors.
Yes.
From around the world.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
One other thing to note too, so after we went and checked out the line for Journey to the Center of the Earth, we were sort of like, yeah, we're not waiting for this because we didn't have a lot of time there. So we decided to buy their version of a Fastpass.
Yep.
They don't have nearly as many rides there for Fastpasses. I wish I could remember what it was called there, but I can't off the top of my head. But one thing to note, if you are going to do that, you have to be scanned into the park. You've got to be inside the park. You cannot buy one of those if you're just waiting in line outside or you're riding the monorail. You have to have scanned your ticket and you have to physically be inside the park to use that feature.
Yeah, and basically, when we did the Klook tickets, you get a QR code from that, and they actually did want us to use the Klook app while we scanned to go through. But then you also need that QR code to put into the Disney app,
right,
to get access to the Fastpass stuff.
It's a bit of a process, and also while we are on that topic, they prefer you to use your phone to scan into the park your ticket. They don't want a paper ticket. A lot of people print out paper tickets and take them. They sort of frown upon that. I mean, they will do it if your phone isn't working, if they have to, but they really prefer that you use your phone to scan everything.
Yep.
Including the Fast Passes. So I bought the Fast Passes on my phone. They vary in price. I think the one for Journey of the Center to the Earth was about 2,000 yen a person, which was like $17 or $18.
Yeah.
They go all the way up to like $2,500.
Yeah, I'd say they range between $15 to $25.
But there are only like 3 to 4 rides per park that even have them. So almost every ride over there is a standby line, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
So we did buy the Journey to the Center of the Earth Fast Passes. We got a pretty quick time. I think it was like an hour to 2 hours after we bought it.
Yep.
So it wasn't that bad. And just like here, you know, it's nice. You just go back at an assigned time. You take your phone and you put it into the little scanner and it lets you right in.
Yep.
So that was the first thing we did, was buy Fast Passes to Journey to the Center of the Earth. And then we kind of wandered around that area, which is like reminiscent of a steampunk.
Yeah, Jules Verne, that kind of Journey to the Center of the Earth look. I mean, it has a really good look of Tomorrowland of Paris, actually.
Yes, which they don't call Tomorrowland there.
Yeah.
They call it something else. But yeah, if you've been to Disney Paris, you will understand the feel of it. It has like their
It's a very feel like that, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then we ended up going to the 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride.
Which, there, it was so much different than
Yeah.
it is here. If you've been to California, it's like a submarine ride. You pack, 30, 40 people into a submarine, and, you go under the water, and I think they've rethemed it. Now it's like Nemo and Friends or something like that. Over there, you get into this little bell, and there are only 6 seats in it. So it's almost like you're in a diving bell. And it was really, really
Yeah.
cool. Like,
it was a really good ride.
Yeah, it was a great
Way
ride.
better than the old 2,000 leagues. I mean, I love the old 2,000
20,000
leagues. 20,000 leagues under the sea, but this is like way better. And you actually don't go underwater in it. It's like a simulated look of going underwater.
Yes, so unlike the one in California where you do actually submerge.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that.
No.
Because it really does a very good job of simulating being underwater, and you have a little flashlight.
You can move around with a joystick, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like you can look at things, and you really are moving it around, so it's cool. You feel like you're interacting with it and stuff. So that ride was great. I don't think we were expecting much of anything, to be honest with you.
It's probably one of the top dark rides we've ever ridden.
I think so, too. You know, I sort of just went into it expecting like the same sort of thing in California, and was very pleasantly surprised at how wonderful it was.
Yeah.
In fact, pardon me, we ended up riding it again.
Yeah, we rode it twice. Just be warned, the diving bell is very small, kind of built for Asian people, so if you're 6 feet tall, you're going to be like, I was like crouched up in a little ball inside the little thing.
It's funny, I mean, I'm only 5'7", and in order for me to see out the window, I had to go like this.
Yeah, we had to duck down.
You know, there's a little round window right in front of you, and for both of us to see out of it, we had to go like this. So, I mean, yeah, just be aware that that's something that you will have to do. And it's hard to get in and out. The door is very small. The seats are very small. So, I mean, I think if you're a larger individual, you may have a little trouble.
Yeah, it'll be a little uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, but it is a fun ride.
Amazing
totally
ride,
worth it. So one other thing we forgot to mention, what is different about Tokyo Disney Resorts in general is that all of the live shows require an entry pass.
Yep.
So when you first get into the park, it's like a lottery. You just go to whatever shows you want to see and you ask, can I go to this show? And you pick what time you want to go to it. Say there's one at 1:30, 3:30, 5:30. Oh, I'd like to go to the 3:30 show. And then seconds later, it will either tell you, yeah, here's your ticket, or sorry, you didn't get access. We had terrible luck with everything that we tried to get into.
We didn't have luck all 3 days to even get into one show.
We did not get into one live show.
We tried right when we got in the park both times. We did. All the times.
And the other thing to note, too, is that if you try for the 1:30 show, that's it. You can't try for the 3:30 show or the 5:30 show. You get one shot. So, you know, we didn't have any luck.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the parks were very busy both days. And I don't know what the luck of the draw is there. But we just didn't get it. However, the one thing we did get very lucky with, thankfully, was the night show at DisneySea's. It's around the lagoon, and we'll talk more about that later. But you also have to request access to that, too. And thank goodness we got lucky on that one, because I would have hated to have missed that. But that was the only thing we got a seat for. The parades, you don't need them. Well, there's only one parade, and that's over at Disneyland. But that's the one thing you don't need to worry about. So anyway, we just wanted to mention that as well. If you have your heart set on seeing a show, don't be terribly disappointed if you don't get in, because we didn't get into anything.
Yep.
And we still had a great time.
Yeah.
So no big deal. So after we got off of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, it was time to use our express passes for Journey to the Center of the Earth. Man, that ride was fantastic.
The theming on it's amazing. You even take an elevator down to the, they simulate, like you take an elevator down to the cars that go into the center of the Earth.
Yeah. And one thing also we should mention, unlike here, where you can pretty much take pictures and videotape lines and things like that, you can't take your cameras on the rides, but when you're standing in line, or like if you're in Tower of Terror and you want to tape the pre-show, you can do that. You cannot do it for things over there.
Here, they won't let you do the pre-shows.
No. In fact, we were sort of wanting to take pictures in the queue of Journey to the Center of the Earth, and we're told no, you can't do that. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of like pictures and videos of that stuff. But then oddly, like I was able to tape the entire Beauty and the Beast ride over at Tokyo Disneyland. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, just another point, if you're a picture taker or videos like we are, there's a lot of things there. Once you get inside the queue or inside the line, you cannot.
Yeah.
So yeah, you sort of take an elevator down, and then you get into this little, yet again, it's like a pod. It almost looks like a land submarine, to be honest. And I think it was like you could fit maybe 8 people in it.
Yeah. It's very much like a Cars ride and Test Track. Yes. It's
yeah, but you're totally enclosed.
Yeah, it's the same ride system as both of those rides.
Yeah, but it's like an indoor roller coaster.
Yeah. You go outside for a little spot where you pop over a hill that's really fun and you fly down it.
Yes.
Almost like a roller coaster in the car stuff.
Yes. But the things inside the ride, the animatronics, the graphics, the screens.
It's like crazy bugs.
Oh, it was stunning. It reminded me, the advancements in technology reminded me a lot of the Navi River ride.
Yeah.
Just in how they utilized the screens to make it look like things were running past you. It was just a great ride.
Yeah, it's probably the best version of all of those. I would say it's better than the Cars ride in California.
Which we love.
Test Track's terrible, but yeah,
yes,
way better. It's the best use of that ride system I've ever seen.
I would agree, and we love the Cars ride. I mean, that's a
Cars
close
ride
second.
is amazing.
But this one was stunning,
Yeah.
and if the lines weren't so long, and if we could have gotten on it numerous times, we would have.
Yeah, I would say it is the premium ride for the whole park because the whole centerpiece of the park, the mountain in the center, it's built into that mountain. So it's like the main ride for the whole park.
Yeah, there's like a volcano that actually erupts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just cool to look at from the outside, and then once you get on it and you understand all the inner workings, it just makes that whole area of the park like that much better.
Yeah.
Because you understand what the heck is going on. So after that, it was early, but it was getting to be about lunchtime.
Yep.
And because of the experiences we had at Universal, we wanted to make sure we ate at off times. So as soon as the restaurant opened, we went and got in line.
Yeah, we got in line.
Because we wanted to avoid having to wait like 2 or 3 hours just to get food. Yep. So we ate lunch at the Nautilus Gallery, which again, as I said, is a restaurant that's right inside that little area with all of those rides. And it's basically like a sort of like a buffet line.
Yeah, it's a counter service.
Yeah,
place.
it is a counter service. But again, unlike here, they sort of take a lot of care with their food. So as you're going through the line, you sort of get to see everything, and then they serve it fresh right from there. So we had katsu and pork ramen.
Yeah, and it was all Asian food.
Yeah, all Asian food. There really aren't a lot of American options over there. Maybe some hamburgers and hot dogs, but I would say for the most part, like they have a version of Cosmic Rays over at Disneyland, and they even serve Asian food. Yeah. So just again, be prepared. You're not going to get your corn dogs or...
No, it was good though.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was really good, and actually, I mean, there was plenty of seating in there. The place was huge. It was very well themed, and again, it wasn't terribly expensive. I think it was a little over $20 for both of us.
Yeah, not bad.
To have some lunch and have a drink with it. The food was very tasty. The ramen was great. The katsu was good. You know, I would say their counter service restaurant food is probably a notch above what it is here. Yeah. But Paris is still the worst, I think.
Yeah.
the worst food in a Disney park that we've been to so far.
Probably the worst food out of most amusement parks we've ever eaten at.
Yeah, it was not good.
Even Cedar Fair has better food than
Paris. But we digress. So after that, we then bought an express pass for Tower of Terror. Yeah. Which is my all-time favorite ride at Disney World. I don't love the reskinning at Disneyland, so I definitely wanted to check out this version of it because it is totally different than either of the ones here, so I was curious to see what they did with it. So we bought the express pass for that. That one was a little pricier than Journey to the Center of the Earth. I think that was one that was 2,500 yen. But again, as we had very little time there, I was willing to pay whatever.
Oh yeah, and it already had like a 200-minute wait just for it. Even when we went over to it.
The lines were
And that one we got
insane.
queued up pretty quick. We pretty much got there. I think we looked in a shop, but then we pretty much got right onto it.
We did, and in fact, after we bought it, I think we walked off for a few minutes just to look in some stores and saw one of their mascots.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really cool, because their major mascot there isn't Mickey or Minnie. It's a bear called Duffy. And they buy that merchandise like it is on fire. It's crazy. He's the cutest little bear, and he has a girlfriend, and that's who we saw coming out of the Tower of Terror shop. So it was really cool because we just so happened to get in line to take a picture of her. We were like the first people in line.
Yeah.
Just because we first saw her coming out. So that was really kind of cool because
That's really cool.
The lines for any other characters that they had, like later we saw Thumper. The lines were so long and the crowds of people. So it was cool that we actually got one character that we were able to get a picture with.
Yeah, and there's tons of Duffy merch and all of his friends.
Oh, it's
yeah. Like that fills the stores more than Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
there.
it's crazy.
It's their main character. He's more popular than Mickey there.
Yeah. So then we went on our Tower of Terror ride, and again, there was no taking of pictures or videotaping, even in the lobby.
No, the lobby was amazing.
Yeah.
It's more like a, what is it, like a Victorian or like a...
Yeah.
Or is it an Italian type architecture?
It has the feel of like, if you ever went to Disney World back in the day when Pleasure Island was still around, it had the feeling of the Adventurers Club.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what all sort of the memorabilia. It was like
it's themed after that.
Yeah, it was like one of those older gentlemen with the long handlebar mustache and a beard, with the little round hat that was going on like a Borneo expedition or something.
Yeah.
But it was his hotel. It was like a high tower hotel. His name was High Tower, and it was themed after his expeditions over to like Asia and Africa and things like that. And, the theme was like he brought back an artifact. I won't give the whole thing away, but brought back like an artifact. It was a monkey and it was cursed. And it's sort of...
You mean
the little statue of a monkey.
I guess it's a monkey, but it would seem like a weird little demon statue more to me than a monkey.
I thought it was a monkey.
Yeah.
Either way. But it's sort of like...
Kind of has a little bit of a tiki look to it,
Yeah.
like a scary tiki statue.
But it had like possessed the hotel.
Yeah, and through the whole queue line, there's lots of artifacts from this
Yes.
expedition. Really cool to look
Much
at,
like Tower of
Egyptian
Terror.
stuff. Kind of like that, but it almost has like a weird mummy theme, like Universal's mummy line. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, this one was built more along the lines of the two stories. So like, how it is in California Disney.
Yeah.
So like some of the line broke off and went on one floor, and then like we got sent to the top floor to load.
Yep.
I would love to tell you what the whole backstory is, but it was in Japanese.
Yeah, the pre-show was amazing though.
It
I actually
was.
thought it was better than the Twilight Zone pre-show and the Guardians of the Galaxy one. I thought it was pretty amazing.
This is where we disagree. But again, it's just because Tower of Terror like has a special place in my heart, and it's my favorite ride.
Oh, I love Tower of Terror too. I just think...
Man, this one was right up there. The pre-show and the theming and the line was fantastic. One thing I did not like about it, you wear a shoulder harness.
Yeah. So it holds you down while you're going on the elevator.
Yeah.
The lighting in the elevator is by far the best lighting out of all the rides too.
That I will agree with.
And even when you open up at the pop-out areas, it's like more like a broken stained glass window, so you can actually see out farther. Where like the ones in like the normal Tower of Terror, it's just a very small glimpse. This one you see a lot more going up.
Yeah, but I hated having the shoulder seatbelt. Part of what I love about Tower of Terror is the airtime and the feeling that you get like you're floating up in the air and the weightlessness.
Yeah.
And when you have a shoulder seatbelt, there's none of that.
Yeah.
There's none of that feeling. And so for me, that kind of took a little bit away from the ride, and that is strangely what I remember the most about it, which I don't sort of like. Having said that, the theming and the overall ride itself was great. And just like Journey to the Center of the Earth, I would have ridden it 3 or 4 more times.
Oh, it was amazing.
If the line hadn't been so darn long
Yeah.
every single time.
To me, it's the best version of that ride ever made, the one there.
I
would,
disagree.
if they ever got rid of the Twilight Zone theming, I would say they should do that over the Guardians of the Galaxy, hands down. Way better than Guardians
That
of the
I
Galaxy.
do agree with. I don't like the reskinning of the one in California, except at Halloween.
Yeah.
But that's, again, I digress. But I hope they don't do it, because I kind of like the idea that at every park, it's a different one, except Paris, which is just like the one in Orlando. But yeah, it was great. And I would have loved to have ridden it again just to see some things I missed or whatever, but there just, unfortunately for us, wasn't time.